And we're live. Fantastic. I'm going to put the old cell phone on airplane mode for this one. I wanted to be live sooner, but my neighbor got going on his wood chipper out there, freaking at him. Anyway, all right. So, God bless America and no one else, and I mean that quite literally, to an extent. All right. So, 5-paragraph business plan, where we left off before, and I just want to kind of like pick back up and give a little bit of an overview because I understand people, when they get into the MET TSL, the preparation, all of this other stuff, they have a tendency to just kind of like hesitate at first. And it's something that needs to be done to get the brain moving, but getting all the way through the entire text is paramount. And that's something that I talk about inside of the tutorial episodes. I've shared with you before, tutorials.5paragraph.com. That's tutorials.5paragraph.com. So check those out. If you need any help, any guidance, or anything else along the way, you can contact us directly at 5paragraph. And I've shared the number with you guys before. All right, so if you're following along in the text, we are currently on page 20 and 21. It seems really simple, not too complicated. It's mission, directives, and statement, and it very much so is a simple concept. The reason why the mission statement is so important is because it's going to do two main things. One, it's going to provide a foundation at first glance for what your company is all about. If you think Johnson & Johnson and their mission statement, which is plastered on the side of the building, you know exactly what those folks are all about. My alma mater, the United States Marine Corps, you've got Semper Fidelis, and you understand what we're all about to an extent. You see Marines in action, you understand, okay, probably don't want to mess with those guys. You understand the mission statement, right? So getting to the point with this, we are currently working with HACOA. If you want to learn more about HACOA, the Home Repair Network, you can check out hacoa.5paragraph.com. And there you'll see the video that's up on there. I'm going to do a couple of other episodes, landing pages for you guys to check out. We've also had them on the podcast, Cigars and Sea Stories. This is the Eagle microphone and anchor. If you yourself would like to get a Cigars and Sea Stories cap, or you're a fan of the podcast or something, go to the website. We're selling them up on there, and it's all Cigars and Sea Stories brand. We're not working with anybody else on that. It's just our stuff. Getting back to 5-paragraph. All right, so mission, directives, and statement. One of the things that it does is provides a foundation, at least from the outside, of what you do. This screens people before they ever even get into the door, okay? So that means people who would otherwise not necessarily be a good fit for employment on your team. That's also people who are potential clientele. So it tells folks a lot about you just in squaring away your overall mission set. The other thing that it does is it provides the question how, I guess you could say. It evokes the question how, and this is something that I talk about on the tutorials. When you state your mission statement, somebody should be like, how in the heck are you going to do that? It entices someone to learn more about you. So you've got this mission, like, we're going to sell great paper. And maybe that's awesome. Maybe that's your mission. We're going to sell the world's greatest paper that's out there. You can jazz it up a little bit to get people to ask you, okay, how are you going to be the world's greatest paper company? For HACOA, those folks that are out there in need of home repair, as well as a polite, professional, trustworthy, show-up-on-time contractor who will take responsibility for their own actions, kind of sells itself, right? So the mission of HACOA is to line up contractors, vetted, insured, licensed contractors with homeowners in need in order to facilitate their home repair needs. So that all goes in the mission statement. Again, it might sound really simple, and it is, but you're developing the culture of your overall company with this. You can also change, alter, whatever the case may be, your company culture to an extent by putting it down on paper. All right, and again, I'm just going to hold the book up. It's page 21 that actually has the fill out portion of this. And you go through, what are the values of your company, of your overall organization? Write out the characteristics of your ideal company based on these values. Write out the characteristics of your ideal team member based on these values. And then create your own mission. Who, what, where, when, why, and then of course leads into how. Like, how in the heck are you going to get that done? The company and concept, the product and service, entry and growth strategy. So an example, blank is a blank company with a focus on and blank products for, in order to achieve X, Y, and Z, right? Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was shaking the camera there. So then, last but not least, at the bottom, you have your overall mission statement. The reason why this matters is because, again, it shows on the veneer who you are, ostensively, and then folks who want to come in and be a part of your organization, it shows exactly in here what are the characteristics of your ideal team member. Based on these values that you portray or that you are going to uphold as an organization, what is your ideal team member going to look like? And this is directly out of, it's M in the MET-TTSL that we were talking about before. But again, it's very, very simple, and it's something that's overlooked by a lot of folks. I tell you guys all the time, all that it really takes is just take a weekend of breathing room, is the way that I explain it with a lot of business owners. Just if you can afford the time to sit down and go over, just in brushstrokes, the limited amounts of detail that it takes to get organized as an overall business, you're going to see gains. You're going to see improvements overall. The other thing that it does is allows you to maintain accountability both ways. I say it that way because as business leaders, we want to spend less time handling the management side of things and more time actually leading teams that are out in the field. A lot of us, to include myself, I want to spend more time working in the business and less time working on the business. There's a lot of stuff that I do that pertains to the business overall that I wouldn't necessarily want to do on a daily, right? So, for instance, I don't really want to work on the logos or the additional marketing material, a lot of the creative side of things. I am happy that stuff is done now. That's the other good thing with licensing a brand or getting something that's franchised, for instance. A lot of the stuff that you don't necessarily want to do as a business owner, let's say because it's not necessarily your strength base or you yourself are not passionate about it, those things that would otherwise be outsourced out, they're already taken care of through a lot of your franchise opportunities and a lot of your licensing opportunities. We're proud to say that 5-paragraph business plan is part of the business in a box that you're getting with HACOA unit ownership. So that's part of our overall mission. We want to make uniformity easier, but we want to make accountability easier and simpler for both parties involved. So that way we can spend more time leading teams in the field and less time actually managing things. I say it that way because if you think about it from a visionary component, the 5-paragraph business plan is specifically designed for leadership that's coming out of the field. If you're more of a expert hands-on type, you're going to work with 5-paragraph in a much easier way, I guess you could say. If you're more of an executive type that is executionary based and pull certain levers in order to engage certain mechanisms, and therefore that the output, so to speak, should look like this, numbers-based approach, 5-paragraph is going to work. It's probably not going to be your greatest cup of tea. And I say it like that very honestly because this is a situationally flexible business planning document. It's a correspondence course of sorts. I say it that way because it's for the folks who, I'm sitting here on purpose. I'm sitting here in Cigars and C-Series gear, kind of a deal. I've got I've got a Madison Rising Rock the Red t-shirt on. Sorry for the scuffing of the lapel mic, but I say it that way because I'm not sitting here, trying to drum stuff up from the corporate type office building. I purposely say it that way because I enjoy my independence. I get up every day and I work on my own thing, and I do it from home, and I do it with discipline. So if you're like that and you want to work from home, you want to maintain your own ship, so to speak, but you're looking for another guide on to get behind, Hakoa is a great opportunity. And again, if you want to learn more about that, it's hakoa.5paragraph.com. Check them out. Check out the overall purpose and mission of Hakoa. And if you're following along at home, make sure to spend some time on pages 20 and 21. And later on, as you go through, you'll see, and I'll talk about this as we get into the execution paragraph, you'll see why we do MET-T TSL up front and then again at the back of the book, because we're putting it through this filtering system, so to speak, so that at the back of the book, you have the ability to snap all of the key components into place. And you'll see later on when we get into the actual workbook, which is the template back here, and there's a glossary of terms, by the way. We have our citations that are back here. If you have anything else, any other questions, if you want to get tips, tricks, blah, 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 go ahead and check out 5paragraph.com, and we'll be there to help you out. I mean, this is not rocket surgery. A lot of folks will tell you that business planning is, oh, you've got to take months and weeks and all of this other stuff. I disagree entirely. I think that a lot of folks just are very intimidated by it. I was. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I was extraordinarily intimidated by business planning and business concepts and all of those other things. And there was no need to be. So in going through here, you've got, later on in the book, you'll actually cover the situation and the mission, which we're going over or have gone over in these past couple of lives that we've done. So getting back into the mission, you'll see actually the way that it's constructed inside of the workbook portion, the back portion of the book, mission directives, the problem opportunity statement, or what have you. But it's a company concept of why you're doing what you're doing. And again, it should just be laid out like that. This is the company, this is the concept of what we're doing, and this is why we do it. So I say it that way because there are so many companies out there that don't do it that way. And if you just put it front line and center like that, you're going to be that much more efficient. I mean, we've seen this time and time again. It's like, for instance, marketing. Let's just say, for instance, you want to market your independent contracting business. A lot of folks look at it and they go, okay, I'm going to tell everybody exactly what we do, instead of some sort of catchy, appeal to it, what have you, in order to draw folks into it, right? And that's what marketing is supposed to do. It's not just DDS. It's your sign is shaped like a tooth. Like, cool, okay. Your sign is shaped like a tooth. I would assume that you have something to do with dental or oral hygiene to some extent, whatever the case may be. I say it that way because there are so many folks that are out there, service on their mission statement, who aren't just bottom line up front, this is what we do. That being said, also, being a jack of all trades, like I've got a buddy who's big into landscaping, right? So he's running his landscaping career that's out there, and he'll tell folks all the time, yeah, this is our primary as far as our mission, but truthfully, our mission, our number one goal is customer satisfaction. Whatever we can do for you on that job site, we will take care of. We're licensed in this, that, whatever the case may be. So he gets a lot of roofing jobs that way. It's funny because we just experienced this here in a high wind scenario. You've got a lot of shingles that'll blow off the roof. Depending, you'll have a lot of shingles that'll blow off the roof, right? So a landscaper going around, he might find a shingle that's in the roof, be like, we found 2 or 3 of these that were out in the yard. If you want to, I can send a guy up there on a ladder. We can check all that stuff out. It's not, it's adjacent to what the overall mission focus is. But the reason why I say that, though, is because one serves the other. If you're going through and you're asking the right questions of your organization in order to stamp out a mission that is catchy, that is to the point, that is important to your given customer base, then you have the entrance necessary in order to go and achieve success in all of these other paths. Like, oh yeah, or full-time professional landscapers, amateur roofers. I don't know, whatever your hitch is going to be. But take time with it. Take time with your mission. Take time with your overall mission statement. And it doesn't all need to be perfect, but at least write out the values of your organization, what your ideal company would look like and your ideal employee would look like within that structure. Visualize it. And I tell you guys all the time, I really honestly, I work with folks at a weekend stint at a time, and it's amazing what you can get done in just taking a breather. I get it. If you're out there, you're making money, you're already a contractor, hey, why would I sit down and write a business plan? Frankly, it's because you're probably leaving money out on the table. And also, when somebody else comes up and says, hey, man, I want to be one of your employees, great, here's our business plan, this is what we're working on. It doesn't need to have all the details, inside of it. You just have a little, like, you can download the template right now, the 5-paragraph business plan template up there on 5paragraph.com, and super simple, fill that out in a digital format, and your employees, that's part of the onboarding procedure. So it's like, okay, cool. Here's our business plan. This is how we do stuff. We're holding each other accountable to this little 5-6 page document, and it's however long you decide to make it. But taking that time to put it all down on paper holds everybody accountable, and it makes business that much easier to just go and get through the day kind of deal, so that people aren't bogged down worrying about all of this other minutia. They already see that stuff out there on paper, and they understand what is going to be expected of them, what they can expect of you, the employer. And that's half the battle right there in going out and leading teams that are efficient, professional, show up, do the work, take responsibility, all of that other good stuff. You've got to have some sort of method to hold each other accountable. So, and the same thing happens around here. It's one of the reasons why on these go lives, you have never seen me wear the same outfit. And every once in a while, I put some crazy stuff on. So, and if you folks ever come over from Cigars and Sea Stories, it's a little bit different over here than it is over on the old podcast. Yeah, things get crazy, but it's fun. So if you enjoy a good conversation between veterans, you yourself might be a veteran, go and check out Cigars and Sea Stories. For you folks who are interested in HACOA, the Home Repair Network, and you yourself want to, be a business owner, that is to say a licensee in your area of operation, we can help you out. 5-paragraph business plan goes into each one of the HACOA units as we're standing it up. So pretty sweet. They've been around for, I would think a long time. 1993 is a pretty long time to have opened your doors and still be in business, and they are expanding now through the use of 5-paragraph business plan. So we created it for civilians. We're bringing all of that military knowledge out of the U.S. Armed Forces, especially the combat arms background. I myself, being a Marine Corps infantryman, was told, hey, your skills don't apply here. They do. They really do. Running a patrol base and running an area of operation is very much so akin to running your own business, especially so, I would think, more in franchising and licensing than it would be in just go and make up your own mission. So I personally would encourage fellow veterans to take a look at HACOA unit ownership, and if you are interested in it, fill out the form that's on hacoa.5paragraph.com. If you're interested in speaking with us about 5-paragraph or any other business stuff, by all means, check out 5paragraph.com and get in touch with us. And yeah, all good things. All right, folks, thanks for being a part of the conversation, and we hope that you continue to share and enjoy all of this wonderful stuff that we keep putting out. All right. Happy Monday. Take care. Be well. And we'll see you on the next go-around.